What's up mga ka-cream? In this video, we will be discussing the fingerprint classification. But first, what is fingerprint classification?
Fingerprint classification. Formula derived for a complete set of 10 fingerprints or the arrangement of fingerprints records into groups or subgroups for filing purpose.
Another one, the classification formula.
The classification formula used here in the Philippines and other countries who are English-speaking is the Henry Galton system with the FBI modification and extension.
Teka. Bakit may FBI modification and extension?
Henry Galton system has only 4 classifications, which are primary classification, secondary classification, sub-secondary classification, and final classification. Therefore, the FBI modification and extension added 2 other classifications, which are major classification and key classification.
Aha! Ganun pala yun? To start the fingerprint classification, we will begin in the primary classification. In primary classification, there are 5 things to remember.
First, memorize the pairing of the fingers and their values. We must know the right position of the fingers. In right hand, finger 1 is the right thumb, finger 2 is the right index, finger 3 is the right middle, finger 4 is the right ring, and finger 5 is the right little. In left hand, finger 6 is the left thumb, finger 7 is the left index, finger 8 is the left middle, finger 9 is the left ring, and the finger 10 is the left little. Numerical value. Finger number 1 and 2 has the numerical value of 16. Finger number 3 and 4 has the numerical value of 8. Finger number 5 and 6 has the numerical value of 4. Finger number 7 and 8 has the numerical value of 2, while finger number 9 and 10 has the numerical value of 1. Even fingers are the numerators, which are finger 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. Odd fingers are the denominators, which are 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. In this chart, we can see that finger 1 is a radial loop, finger 2 is a plane whorl, finger 3 is an ulnar loop, finger 4 is a tinted arc, finger 5 is radial loop, finger 6 ulnar loop, finger 7 double loop whorl, finger 8 radial loop, finger 9 plane whorl, and finger 10 plane arc. Therefore, we should find the whorl type pattern and its composites, which are plane whorl, central pocket loop whorl, double loop whorl, and accidental whorl. In this chart, the fingers have whorl patterns are finger 2, 7, and 9. Remember, primary classification is the summation of all whorl type pattern and its composites. Even numbers are numerators, and odd numbers are denominators. Finger 1, radial loop, 0, place to denominator. Finger 2, plane whorl, numerical value 16, place to numerator. Finger 3, ulnar loop, 0, place to denominator. Finger 4, tented arc, 0, place to numerator. Finger 5, radial loop, 0, place to denominator. Finger 6, ulnar loop, 0, place to numerator. Finger 7, double loop whorl, numerical value of 2, place to denominator. Finger 8, radial loop, 0, place to numerator. Finger 9, plane whorl, numerical value of 1, place to denominator. Finger 10, plane arc, 0 placed to numerator. Therefore, 16 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 equals 16 over 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 2 plus 1 equals 3 equals 16 over 3. And of course, never forget the pre-established fraction 1 over 1, which makes your primary classification to 17 over 4. Why does it have 1 over 1? It is because it is the requirements of primary classification and you cannot put 0 over 0 or blank in the classification. Secondary classification. Placed just to the right of the primary classification. The arrangement of odd and even finger as denominator and numerator in primary classification will be discarded during secondary classification. Right hand will be numerator and left hand will be denominator. Secondary classification is divided into two, the capital letter group and small letter group. Secondary capital letter group, writing the symbol of the pattern that appeared in the right and left index finger F2 and F7. Only the symbol of the pattern in the index fingers will be brought up to the classification formula. Symbols that will be put in capital letter group: A. Plain arc. T. Tented arc. R. Radial loop. U. Ulnar loop. W. Plain whorl. C. Central pocket loop whorl. D. Double loop whorl. And X. Accidental whorl. In the chart, right index finger is plain whorl. Therefore, the symbols will be capital letter W and will be placed in numerator. Left index finger is double loop whorl. Therefore, the capital sign will be D and will be put in denominator. Small letter group. Fingerprints with plain arc, tented arc, and radial loop in any finger except in index fingers constitute the secondary small letter group. Only F1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, and 10. The symbols may appear in small letter A, plain arc, small letter T, tented arc, small letter R, radial loop, and dash for no pattern. Finger 1, radial loop, small letter R, numerator. Finger 3, ulnar loop, just leave it blank. Finger 4, tented arc, small letter T, numerator. Finger 5, radial loop, small letter R, numerator. Finger 6, ulnar loop, just leave it blank. Finger 8, radial loop, small letter R, denominator. Finger 9, plain whorl, just leave it blank. Finger 10, plain arc, small letter A, denominator. Then you got the secondary classification. Subsecondary classification. This classification concerns only with the index, middle, and ring fingers of both hands. Finger 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, and 9. Fingerprint classifier must first count the ridge of the loops and the ridge tracing of whorls appearing on the above-mentioned fingers. When loops are present in any 6 fingers, ridge counts is necessary. Symbols capital I and capital O representing the ridge count, which mean inner and outer. When whorls are present, whorl tracing will apply to determine whether it is an inner, outer, or meeting whorl. To determine the ridge count if it is inner or outer, index finger or F2 and F7, 1 to 9 is inner and 10 or more is outer. Middle finger F3 and F8, 1 to 10 is inner, 11 or more is outer. Ring finger F4 and F9, 1 to 13 inner, 14 or more outer. In the chart, finger 2 has plain whorl with 3 intervening ridges below. Therefore, it is outer. Finger 3 is ulnar loop with 18 ridge count, therefore it is an outer. Finger 4, tented arc. Tented arc is not qualified, so leave it blank. Finger 7, double loop pearl, 2 intervening ridges, therefore it is meeting. Finger 8, radial loop with 16 ridge count, therefore it is an outer. Finger 9, plain whorl with 5 intervening ridges above, therefore it is inner. And now you got the sub-secondary classification. Major division, concerned only with the thumb of both fingers, F1 and F6. Right thumb is numerator, while left thumb is denominator. Ridge count and whorl tracing are important. Arches are disregarded. Ridge count will be represented by capital S for small, capital M for medium, and capital L for large. There are two formula to be used in right thumb. First, when ridge count of the left thumb is 16 or less, formula to be used for right thumb is formula 1. Second, if the ridge count of the left thumb is 17 over, formula number 2 will be used for the right thumb. The formula for left thumb is the same as formula 1 for right thumb. In the chart, left thumb or the F6 has 15 ridge count. Therefore, the formula to be used in right thumb is formula 1. In F1 or the right thumb, it has 22 ridge count. Therefore, it belongs to large. In formula 1, put it in numerator. In left thumb or the F6, it has 15 ridge count. Therefore, it belongs to medium. Put it in denominator. Now you have the major classification. Final classification. It is done by ridge counting of loops and whorls from two little fingers. In this division, whorls are ridge counted, not ridge traced. Remember, if no loops were found, whorl will be considered and should be counted and not traced. Only one finger is necessary in the final classification. If both F5 and F10 are loops, right little finger F5 is priority. If the loop pattern found only on the left little finger, then such ridge count will be the final classification. It is placed either in numerator or denominator side depending on where it is taken. If right hand, numerator. If left hand, denominator. Since whorl has two deltas, whorl on the right little finger is ridge counted from the left delta to the core, while whorl on the left little finger is ridge counted from the right delta towards the core. A whorl on the right little finger eliminates the needs to ridge count on the left little fingers. If loop and whorl occur, loop is priority. If arc appears, there is no final classification. In the chart, finger 5 is radial loop with 10 ridge count. 10 will be placed in numerator. Finger 10, plain arc, no value. Then, you get the final classification. Key classification, obtained by counting the ridge count of the first loop appearing on the fingerprint card starting from the right thumb F1 down to the last fingers of the left hand with the exception of the little fingers F5 and F10, since the use for the final classification. Whatever the ridge count of the first loop appearing on the fingerprint card will be brought up to the classification formula. No matter where it found, is always placed at the numerator or above classification line. In the chart, the first appearing loop was finger 1, radial loop, and has 22 ridge count. Then place it to numerator. Now you got the key classification. After completing all the classification, your classification line will look like this.
Aha! Ganun pala yun?